Hey everyone, Saari from Saari Coaching here. Yesterday I was privileged to meet with two gentlemen to resolve some conflict that they were having. It wasn't MGM grand style, huge blow-ups, but there's a serious disconnection between these two guys who are in different departments in the company, right? So I want to share with you my process, how I envisioned that meeting, and it ended up really stellar. It was really gorgeous to watch these two guys come together and uphold the excellence of their relationship and what it can be going forward. But we've got to go through the storm or the eye of the needle sometimes to get there, right? So how I envision it is, one, again, the stance of my facilitation is gentle command. I'm present, 100% focused on them in the session. And my ears are big and I'm ready. But I also have a process, right, that I've written down and I've reflected on before, and I just show up and say, okay, what's the problem? I have a way that I have a methodical way that I preempt any challenges that might come up, right, by having a good process. So I dream it up and then I implement it, okay? And in this particular case, it went really well, it went really smoothly, because they were also ready to move forward. When people aren't ready, that's a different story. But I want to share with you my conflict resolution process. We came out the other side in really good standing. So, first I framed that, and I framed the purpose, right? There's a purpose for our meeting, is to connect. It's to kind of look at the issue at hand that's causing the disturbance, and also in that learn about each other, but learn about ourselves as well. Have some self-awareness as to personal responsibility in the struggle that we're having, because it's not one-sided ever, right? So it takes two to tango is the frame. So I upheld that we're here to connect, we're here to learn, and we're here to communicate, and come out with a potential communication protocol, so that we can communicate better in the future and kind of ascertain what our needs are from each other in that, okay? So next I had them take a deep breath, and I've worked with these folks, they kind of know my style, is I had them look at each other and actually give each other a specific appreciation, okay? I find that even in tense conflict situations, people actually still appreciate each other. It's there. They're just letting their triggers kind of cover that up, right? So I want to just out of the gate create a nice harmonic tone to the meeting, and I start that off with a good frame, a positive outcome, a win-win, and then I open it up for appreciations, and that was beautiful. They really had some really good stuff to tell each other. That was true, right? We're not trying to butter people up. It's actually true, and we need to hear that. In fact, it helps grease the skids in the meeting, right? So then I went into another appreciative stance as I shared. We had done the Strength Finders assessment, and so I had their 5 talents each of them had, and I put them on the board, and they actually shared a couple strengths. And we had a real robust dialogue about their particular talent set and how that is, one, great, and two, how it would actually might rub the other person the wrong way. For instance, one of the talents is belief. Both of these gentlemen have a strong belief theme. So, they try to live their values, work ethic, but sometimes being too rigid on your beliefs can cause this rub and not entertaining other people's viewpoints and such, right? So we kind of talked about their strengths, and that led to a really nice awareness that, yeah, we can rub each other the wrong way, actually, and sometimes that's a source of conflict right there, right? And so we exposed that. And then, I asked them, what's really the big issue here? Can you put a name to it? And I actually did something called the hot seat. And again, I know these guys, so they were willing to go here and vulnerable. But I put them on the hot seat and I said, I want you to look at the other person now, and I want you to tell them kind of the worst thing about them that really irks you. Like, what is it that irks you? And one of them said, well, this guy is very defensive when I bring when I bring information to him. Sometimes he's very defensive. He kind of has to be Mr. Right. And the other guy said about the other guy that he can be very negative and cast this judgmental tone when this guy brings information and tries to collaborate with him, right? So both of these guys knew this, so they took ownership of it. Because I asked, again, you're going to get information that might not feel good, but if it's in service of actually growing and learning and moving forward, right? Don't you want to know if you're impacting someone negatively? And they both agreed, yes, absolutely, I want to know. And it wasn't new information for them, by the way. They could see how they're like that in other places and that they're trying to work on it, right? So we moved the ball down the field with this understanding that you need to work on your side of the relationship. You need to have a way that you're less defensive or less judgmental or less negative body language, right? You are in control of that. You can do that, okay? Now, it could be, if someone barges in your office and says, hey, I need to talk about this right now, that could be a trigger for you. So I also asked them, what are some other potential triggers that you have about each other in terms of these kind of things? Do you barge in? Do you do something over here that impacts someone else, but you don't tell them, so you don't communicate? And we were able to ascertain a few more of those kind of prickly spaces, right? So as we get them out on the whiteboard, because I use whiteboards, we can see it, right? Now we can start to say, interesting. Is that what we want to keep doing? And invariably, the answer is always no. That's going to get us the same thing that we have now, a dip in our relationship, right? And right now we're in a dip, and it doesn't feel good, okay? Now I understand relationships have dips, but if you can give yourself a leg standing, by working on your side of the relationship, then your dips might be less or even non-existent, okay? So I put them in the hot seat, we ascertained a lot of information, and then at the end, towards the end, we started to come up with some communication protocols. So, when you go out to a job site and you don't call this person, but they need to know that you're there, can you see that might be a thing that we need to do? And is it within 24 hours? Is it right away? Is it through email? We come up with these ways so that we can actually help each other stay in high form and inform each other what we're doing within reason, right? Not micromanaging it, but what is that information that you really need to know for your department? And if you hear it after the fact, that it actually it's troublesome for you. So we started to come up with these, and we started to run aground with our time. So I asked them to reflect on this, what they need, and we're going to meet again next week. And also envision a positive future for their departments. How could they be collaborating better? Not just in communication, but how could they take it to the next level and use each other, work with each other to help the company get into a strong position as the company grows. And I've actually invited the CEO in on that, half of that conversation, because he's got some ideas. So it's really a collaborative effort. And so I just wanted to share that quick, this was a 2-hour meeting yesterday, but I wanted to share with you a quick synopsis of what I've done with this business and to a really good effect. And so if you know anyone in conflict situations, I love going into companies and helping people have a win-win, to see the goodness in each other and to move forward, find ways to just get over it kind of and learn from it and then create a different structure going forward, okay? So that's it. I hope you like this video. Share it with other people you might think could be helped by it. And post a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts about maybe your conflict resolution path, process, or any challenges that you have, okay? So thanks for watching and take care.